It's a constant cycle in the automotive world. Some models arrive while others depart. Even as we wave goodbye to vehicles discontinued for 2025, the chopping block for 2026 is already filling up. From beloved sports cars making way for electric successors to budget-friendly options and luxury revamps, several familiar names will not be returning. Let's take a look at the cars confirmed to be driving off into the sunset for the 2026 model year. Okay, let's dive into the specifics, starting with the Audi A4. Now, the story here is a little nuanced. While the A4 nameplate itself is not completely disappearing, Audi intends to resurrect it for a future electric model. The gasoline-powered A4 we currently know is indeed finishing its production run after the 2025 model year. This change comes as Audi streamlines its lineup during its shift towards electrification, with the gas-powered A5 set to take over the A4's slot. So, we'll be bidding farewell to the current iteration, a sporty compact luxury sedan that offered a turbocharged 2.0-liter four-cylinder engine and carried a starting price around the mid-$40,000 mark. Sticking with Audi for a moment, the sleek A7 Sportback also seems destined for the chopping block, particularly in the United States market. While it's good news that Audi has rolled out its new A6 midsize sedan, this very arrival likely signals the end for the distinctive A7 Sportback body style to make space for the new four-door. Audi has not officially confirmed the A7 Sportback's cancellation just yet, but many see the writing on the wall. Considering the current A7 generation debuted back in 2018 and got a facelift in 2023, it's highly unlikely to continue beyond the 2025 model year. Moving over to BMW, we find the X4 Coupe SUV on the list of departures. When it first launched back in 2014, the X4 was definitely a head-turner and carved out a distinct niche. However, its run is coming to an end. Sources confirm that production for the current gasoline-powered X4 is scheduled to wrap up around mid-2025, making the 2025 model year its last. This decision appears linked to the introduction of the significantly larger, redesigned BMW X2, which now occupies a similar space in the lineup, alongside BMW's broader strategy to streamline models and push towards electrification. While there will not be a direct gas-powered successor, the X4 name is expected to return later on an all-electric model, likely called the iX4, built on BMW's new dedicated electric platform. For now, though, the recently updated X2 crossover coupe is positioned to fill the gap for buyers seeking that specific coupe-like SUV style from BMW. Moving up the range, it appears BMW's stunning flagship, the 8 Series, is also being phased out, though in stages. Often lauded for its design, the current generation, which only reappeared in 2018, will not see a direct successor across the board. Production of the M8 Coupe is confirmed to be ending in early 2025, meaning the 2025 model year is its last, and the standard 8 Series Coupe is likely on the same timeline. The 8 Series convertible and the 4-door Grand Coupe, along with their M8 versions, will continue for a little while longer. However, reports indicate their production is also expected to end, likely sometime during 2026, concluding the run for the entire current 8 Series family. As for a replacement, BMW has not officially confirmed one, and M Division representatives have indicated there is no direct successor planned for the M8 specifically. While there are rumors of a potential future Grand Coupe model appearing much later, possibly around 2029 or 2030, the current generation of this beautiful Grand Tourer is definitely on its way out. Next up is the Cadillac XT4. If you are considering this compact luxury SUV, you'll find its time in the North American market has come to an end. Production officially ceased at the GM Fairfax assembly plant in Kansas back in January 2025. The reason behind this decision is a strategic shift at the factory. GM is investing significantly to retool the Fairfax plant, which also used to build the Chevy Malibu to produce upcoming electric vehicles on its Ultima platform. This includes the next-generation Chevrolet Bolt EV, scheduled to start rolling off the line there later this year. So, despite debuting for the 2019 model year and receiving a notable refresh with updated tech and styling for 2024, the XT4's North American journey is over. While it won't be sold here anymore, the XT4 will continue in the Chinese market, And Cadillac is introducing the all-electric Optique SUV as its new entry-level offering in North America. It seems the changes at Cadillac continue up the range, as the three-row XT6 crossover is also confirmed to be ending production for the North American market. The assembly line at the Spring Hill, Tennessee plant is set to stop building the XT6 late in 2025, making the 2025 model year its final run here. Slotting in below the Escalade, the XT6 has been Cadillac's offering for families needing 3 rows in a slightly smaller package since its debut for the 2020 model year. While its sales numbers were respectable, hitting just over 20,000 units in the United States in 2024, Cadillac is clearly prioritizing its electric future. The XT6 is being effectively replaced by the new all-electric 3-row Cadillac Vistique, which joins the growing EV lineup alongside the Lyriq, Optique, and Escalade IQ. It's worth noting that the XT6's smaller sibling, the XT5, is planned to continue production in North America a bit longer, likely until the end of 2026. And, similar to the XT4 and XT5, the XT6 model is expected to continue being produced and sold in the Chinese market even after it departs from North America. Let's shift gears to Chevrolet, where the gasoline-powered Blazer is set to drive off into the sunset, at least in North America. Production of the current internal combustion engine Blazer is confirmed to end just before Christmas 2025, making the 2025 model year its final appearance here. This decision is primarily driven by manufacturing changes. The Ramos Arizpe plant in Mexico, where the gas Blazer is assembled, is transitioning to become an EV-exclusive facility, already building models like the Blazer EV and Equinox EV. With sales of the gas Blazer declining by around 20% in 2024, and the Blazer EV establishing itself in the market despite some early hiccups, Chevrolet is clearly focusing its future efforts on the electric version of the nameplate. The departure of the gas Blazer leaves Chevrolet without a direct 2-row, mid-size gasoline SUV in North America, though the redesigned and slightly larger 2025 Equinox may fill some of that space for buyers. It's worth noting the Blazer name will continue, but on a different, larger 3-row model sold specifically in the Chinese market. Turning our attention to Ford, we have the Escape, a long-running and consistently popular nameplate in the compact SUV segment. It remained one of Ford's best sellers in 2024, moving nearly 147,000 units in the United States alone, which was even a slight increase compared to the prior year. Despite its ongoing success, multiple reports strongly suggest that the current generation of the Escape is slated for discontinuation, with production expected to end by the conclusion of 2025. This would make the 2025 model year the final one for the current Escape. The rationale appears tied to Ford's strategic focus on the highly popular Bronco Sport. Though the Escape and Bronco Sport share the same underlying platform, Ford seems keen to capitalize on the Bronco Sport's distinct, rugged styling and branding. The expectation is likely that many buyers who might have considered an Escape will gravitate towards the Bronco Sport. Furthermore, reports indicate that Ford plans to introduce a new all-electric vehicle to be built at the Escape's current assembly plant, effectively serving as its successor in the segment down the line. Now let's look at Infiniti, where the QX50 compact luxury crossover is confirmed to be ending its run. Along with its coupe-styled sibling, the QX55, production will cease in December 2025, making the 2025 model year the last for both vehicles. Interestingly, the QX50 was Infiniti's second best-selling model in the United States in 2024, with sales just under 11,000 units, a slight increase from the previous year. However, it still lagged considerably behind key competitors in this very popular segment. Infiniti executives have indicated the decision is part of a strategic push to move the brand upscale and refresh the lineup. Compared to the new flagship QX80 and other planned future models, including a new mid-size QX65 arriving in 2026, the current QX50 and QX55 were considered to be looking dated. So, while the larger QX60 isn't intended as a direct replacement for the compact QX50, Infiniti is clearly signaling a significant product transformation with new designs and a likely focus on electrification for its future lineup. Shifting to luxury coupes, the Lexus RC is taking its final bow. Having been on the market for about a decade, this stylish two-door faced dwindling sales in recent years. In 2024, Lexus sold just over 1,850 units in the United States, a very low number for the brand, even though it was a slight increase from the year before. Lexus has officially confirmed that both the standard RC and the high-performance V8-powered RCF variant are being discontinued after the 2025 model year. Production is scheduled to conclude late in 2025. The decision stems from the model's age and the shrinking market for traditional coupes as buyer preferences evolve. To commemorate its departure, the 2025 RCF is being offered exclusively as a special final edition model. Next, let's turn to Mercedes-Benz and the GLC Coupe. This model offers a distinct, more style-focused take on the brand's popular GLC SUV. The GLC lineup as a whole had a very strong showing in 2024, with US sales surging by nearly 60%, driven by the recent redesign hitting the market. Though Mercedes doesn't separate sales figures for the standard SUV versus the coupe. Despite the overall success of the GLC nameplate, rumors have been circulating for a while now, suggesting the coupe version might be discontinued, potentially around the 2026 timeframe. This speculation is largely fueled by Mercedes-Benz's public statements about wanting to simplify its extensive model portfolio and focus resources, particularly as the brand invests heavily in electrification. However, it's crucial to note that Mercedes-Benz has not officially confirmed any plans to discontinue the GLC Coupe. Given that the current generation of the GLC Coupe only launched for the 2024 model year, these reports remain speculative at this point, and its future is still uncertain. Similar rumors surround the larger sibling, the Mercedes-Benz GLE Coupe. This model applies the same sloping roofline treatment to the mid-size GLE SUV, which was actually one of Mercedes-Benz's two best-selling vehicles in the United States in 2024, highlighting the strength of the standard model. Despite the GLE line's popularity, the coupe variant is also frequently mentioned in reports, often originating from German media, as potentially facing discontinuation. Again, possibly by 2026. The reasoning cited is consistent with the GLC Coupe rumors. Mercedes-Benz's ongoing strategy to streamline its complex lineup and concentrate on core models and electrification. Some reports have even speculated that Mercedes might eventually merge the GLC and GLE Coupe lines into a single offering, similar to how the C-Class and E-Class coupes were consolidated into the new CLE. However, just like with the GLC Coupe, Mercedes has not officially confirmed any plans to discontinue the GLE Coupe, so its future also remains speculative at this stage. Moving on to Nissan, another long-standing sedan nameplate is preparing for its exit in its current form, the Ultima. First introduced way back for the 1993 model year, the Ultima grew from a compact offering into a popular mid-size sedan, known for being a practical choice and even offering performance-oriented trims like the current 248-horsepower SR-VC Turbo. Following the earlier discontinuation of the Maxima, Nissan has indicated that the current gasoline-powered Ultima is also being phased out. Reports suggest the 2026 model year will be the final run for the gas Ultima before production ends. This move is part of Nissan's wider strategy to streamline its lineup, shift focus towards SUVs and crossovers, and invest heavily in its future electric vehicle offerings, which are set to include new electric sedans starting production around 2026. Next, we turn to the most affordable end of the spectrum with the Nissan Versa. Consistently ranking as one of, if not the, cheapest new cars you can buy in the United States. The 2025 model starts around $18,300. The Versa experienced a significant sales surge in 2024, with demand jumping over 70% compared to the previous year. This highlights a strong market for budget-friendly transportation. Despite this recent success and its low price point, the Versa's future is uncertain. Persistent reports suggest that Nissan intends to discontinue the subcompact sedan after the 2025 model year, possibly ending production later in 2025. Nissan hasn't officially confirmed this yet, but the potential move follows the discontinuation of the Maxima and the planned exit of the gasoline-powered Ultima. It seems to align with Nissan's broader strategy of simplifying its lineup and prioritizing investments in SUVs and future electric vehicles, even potentially at the expense of entry-level segments. So, while the Versa currently offers compelling value, its time on the market might be limited. Turning to Porsche, even impressive sales figures aren't stopping the electric transition for one of its most beloved sports cars. The Porsche 718 Boxster, the brand's fantastic mid-engine convertible, along with its hardtop counterpart, the 718 Cayman, saw a notable sales increase in 2024, up 15% globally and nearly 26% in the United States market. Despite this strong performance, Porsche has confirmed that the current gasoline-powered generation of the 718 Boxster and Cayman is ending. Production is set to conclude in mid-2025, making the 2025 model year the last hurrah for the internal combustion engine versions of these cars. This isn't the end of the road for the names, however. Porsche is actively developing an all-new, fully electric successor that will carry the 718 Boxster and Cayman badges into the future. While reports suggested some initial development delays, the electric replacement is now expected to debut possibly later in 2025 or in 2026, likely arriving as a 2027 model year vehicle. Now, let's discuss the Porsche Macan, a hugely important model for the brand. It was Porsche's best-selling vehicle in the US in 2024, shifting over 25,000 units, and was a top performer globally as well. But like the 718, the Macan is undergoing a major transition. The original gasoline-powered Macan is already discontinued in the European Union due to regulations not met by the aging platform. Elsewhere, its time is also limited because the all-new, all-electric Macan EV has now launched globally. There were some reports suggesting Porsche might reconsider keeping the gas version alive longer in markets like North America due to fluctuating EV demand. However, Porsche clarified its strategy in March 2025. The first-generation gasoline Macan will cease production globally in 2026. After that, the Macan nameplate will be exclusively electric worldwide. While Porsche is apparently considering a different future gas hybrid SUV in this size class, it won't be called a Macan. So, the days are numbered for the original combustion engine Macan as the focus shifts entirely to its electric successor. We're also saying goodbye to a true pioneer in the sedan world, the Subaru Legacy. This car played a massive role in establishing Subaru in North America back when it debuted for the 1990 model year, and it helped make all-wheel drive a mainstream feature in family cars long before many others. It certainly had a long run, outlasting many rivals. However, Subaru has made it official. The Legacy is being discontinued. The current 2025 model year will be its farewell tour, as production is scheduled to end permanently in the spring of 2025. For its final year, it remains an affordable mid-size choice, still offering that standard all-wheel drive and topping out with the 260 horsepower Touring XT trim just under $40,000. Subaru's reasoning points directly to the dramatic market shift towards SUVs and crossovers, segments where the brand excels with models like the Outback, Forester, and Crosstrek, leading them to cease production of their long-running sedan to focus resources and production capacity elsewhere. Another sedan departing the scene, at least in the US market, is the Volvo S60. Known for its distinctive Scandinavian design and strong safety credentials since its debut around the year 2000, the S60 offered a unique alternative in the luxury sedan space, with earlier generations even boasting options like turbochargers and all-wheel drive. However, Volvo officially ended production of the S60 for the United States market back in June 2024. This means the 2024 model year was the final one available stateside, marking a relatively early end for the current generation, which launched for the 2019 model year. Volvo has stated this move allows its US factory in South Carolina to focus entirely on producing the new all-electric EX90 SUV. It's a clear step in Volvo's ambitious plan to become a fully electric brand globally by 2030 and reflects the strong consumer preference for SUVs over sedans in the US. While it's gone from America, production of the S60 does continue in China for that market and some others. And staying with Volvo, it's not just the S60 sedan that has departed the US market. The larger flagship sedan, the S90, has also been discontinued stateside. While the model continues to be built and sold in China, sometimes with specific updates for that market, Volvo stopped importing the S90 to the US, effectively ending its availability after the 2024 or early 2025 timeframe. The decision was driven by several factors. US sales had become extremely low, falling to just around 400 units for the entire 2024 calendar year. Compounding this was the fact that the S90 sold in America was imported from China, making it vulnerable to significant tariffs and logistical costs. This, combined with Volvo's strategic focus on SUVs and its accelerating transition towards an all-electric lineup, led to the S90's removal from the US market. However, Volvo isn't completely exiting the large luxury sedan space globally. They have already revealed the S90's designated successor, the all-new, all-electric ES90 flagship sedan. This new EV is expected to launch globally starting later in 2025 or in 2026, taking over as Volvo's top sedan offering. And for our final car on this list, we have a truly unique offering, the Volvo V60 Polestar Engineered. For enthusiasts seeking a practical wagon with serious performance, this plug-in hybrid was a compelling, if niche, option. It packed a potent powertrain, delivering a combined 455 horsepower and 523 pound-feet of torque. However, this high-performance wagon variant is no longer available in the United States market. Volvo confirmed its discontinuation, likely ending its run sometime during the 2024 or early 2025 model year timeframe. Its departure seems driven by very low sales volume, reportedly fewer than 1,000 units in the United States in 2024, typical of expensive performance wagons, alongside Volvo's strategic shift towards sport utility vehicles and focusing on the more popular V60 cross-country variant in North America. While this potent Polestar-engineered wagon is gone, it's worth noting that Volvo continues to offer the V60 cross-country model in the United States for buyers looking for a premium wagon experience with a more rugged, sport utility vehicle-like stance.